This is E.Wilson, the Conversator from the JTC Exchange Radio Show. We're coming to you live from the First Sunday Showcase, Arlington, Texas, where we have had another great event. The show is over, but we are still here. You know, it's kind of like, you know, at church, sometimes they have to flick the lights in the small churches to get you out. But we are still here. Had a great time once again. But I have Belinda Stanton in the house and Jaden. How you doing, sir? Everything all right? Man, you look like you gonna be president or something one day?
Yes, sir.
I can tell. I can tell. How old are you?
7.
7. What grade you in?
First.
First. 40. My God. You like school?
Yes.
What's your favorite subject?
Math.
How come?
Because I like to deal with numbers.
All right, I'm gonna leave you alone right now. We're gonna come over here. That is awesome. That is awesome. Now, Belinda, let's first talk about, well, let me ask you this. Is this your first time in the First Sundays?
This is my first time here First Sunday, and I really enjoyed myself today.
Right. I was going to ask you now, what was the, well, let me ask you, with all the ministry now, there was a lot that had taken place. We tried to keep the show short, but there's so many people that have gifts and talents, it's kind of hard to not make it go longer. But did anything stick out to you the most? Any song from a personal perspective or something that took place?
Well, I can't remember the titles of the songs because each talent that came forth tonight was anointed. God has really blessed them with something. And the music styles were all different. We had from the chorale standpoint of gospel music coming forth, and they reached back and got some of the old gospel choir songs. And then we also had Miss Bridget. She was here from Houston. Her ministry, Lord has really blessed her with a wonderful, miraculous voice. And not only that, a gift and a talent where she's able to minister and be a blessing to others, especially the young people. Her Call Foundation that she started, I really like what God has blessed her with and the gift that he's given her. And then the young man, the young rapper that came forth, that there was a special request for him to entertain. Is that
Mr. Norris J?
Yes. As I said, it's my first time, so I'm not familiar with the names. Excuse me. But Jaden here loved it and loved him, so he I need $10. I need $10. I gotta go get his CD. So we supported his ministry and got one of his CDs and chatted with him a little bit. But he is totally a blessing. But like I said, everyone was a blessing. The group. Say the pick of the litter that they chose today was just awesome, and there was a nice balance with everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So you saying that the trip was worth it?
Absolutely.
So we want to make sure that the trip was worth it. Now let's talk about this CD here that you got going on, The Best Is Yet to Come, featuring songs from the Broadway musical The Color Purple. Now let's talk about this.
Okay, well, I'm from Tyler, Texas. Again, my name is Belinda Stanton, and the Lord has blessed me throughout the years. I started out just entertaining, wanting to be this famous star, as we all kind of start out, some of us. And one day I was introduced to sing in the young adult choir at church. My grandmother took me there, and I was a tomboy. So singing really wasn't my forte at that time. I wanted to be a gymnast, and all that good stuff. And when she put me in the choir and I opened my mouth to sing, out came this voice, that was like, oh, where'd that come from? And from that point on, the Lord just put it on me. This is what you're called to do. But throughout all of that, I still dipped and dabbed and tried my things in my way and wanted to do the worldly music. But God kept drawing me in and saying, this is your core foundation. This is your purpose. This is what I put you here to do. And throughout the years, while being on tour with the Broadway musical The Color Purple, he opened doors there for me to minister to high school students, to do radio interviews. I was a principal, but not the principal, to go out and be the spokesperson for The Color Purple. But the Lord opened those doors where I did majority of that, while I was on tour. So things that say my character wasn't supposed to be doing. He made those things possible for me. And as we toured, the Lord just introduced me to people. Our paths crossed, and I've always inspired to have a CD production come out. And people will tell me, I'll help you do this, I'll help you do that. I needed a financial backer, and some people promised me this and that, and they didn't come through. But the Lord said, now it's time. In the year of 2011, the Broadway musical, we went to my hometown in Tyler. We wasn't on the schedule at first, and then later I saw I was on the schedule, and I said, this is nothing but a window God is opening, because a big production like that don't go to a small town like that. And so it was a blessing. So when my hometown knew I was coming, they were ready for us. And the venue seated 2,200 people. And after that, it was totally packed. But prior to curtain call, our county commissioner there in Smith County, Joanne Hampton, she announced a resolution and acknowledged that one of Tyler's own was in the play. And so I'm thinking the resolution is just, okay, she's just acknowledging I'm in the play and I'm from Tyler. And they presented me with my own day, Verlinda Stanton Day. Not only that, it was in the month of February, Black History Month. So in Black History Month, I have a day, Verlinda Stanton Day, that we do celebrate every year now in Tyler, Texas. And I just fell to the floor. They wouldn't allow me at that time to come out and receive that presentation. But backstage, when I heard it announced, I just fell to the floor. And I couldn't stop hyperventilating. but God is great. After that, they had a nice cast party for us at a place called Fat Cats in Tyler, a nice Louisiana seafood place. And when we walked in, on every person's table place setting, they had made up color purple fans with my face on it. It had the Color Purple logo, and at the bottom it had my Color Purple character photo, and then, my photo, and on the back it had my bio information and the supporters. So this was on everyone's placemat, and it was just a wonderful feeling to just be just to be supported by that. God has really, 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 really opened doors for me, and I never received that type of support in anything else that I've done up until that year. Someone had told me in 2010, when I announced I was going to be on tour, that 2011 is going to be your year. God is going to have so many things come towards you, you're not going to know what's coming. So February the 3rd, we performed in Tyler, Texas, Verlinda Stanton Day. February the 4th, then the very next day, they canceled our show because of the snowstorm. But that day, the Mayor Pro Tem came to my hotel, and they presented me with the key to the city. So God is wonderful. And then we did a turnaround on the 16th of February and went back to Tyler. And we know when the shows are canceled, we don't do that. But see, it was all in God's design that we go back to Tyler to minister to those people who did not get that blessing from the Color Purple ministry. And we did that, and when I came back, they did a ceremony for me, and the mayor had presented me with a proclamation on the 16th. So from the city of Tyler and the mayor, on February the 16th is also Verlinda Stanton Day. So 2 days in the month of February, that's Black History Month. God is amazing. God is amazing. So I have 2 days in February. So I'm trying to correlate my team, because I need a team so that each year we can continue along with my grandson here. He's been a great supporter, and he's my manager. A lot of people say, oh, yeah, right. No, this is a mastermind, and he supports me, he sells, he push. I mean, whatever needs to be done, he does it. He don't say this is Verlinda Stanton, my family member or what have you. This is my artist. Yeah, it's business. He attends my interviews with me. He knows how to dress the part. He knows how to go in there and speak for me. And at one point, he was like, I'm her bodyguard, her manager, her road manager. I'm her everything. So everything you need to know, you come to me and do that. And he's been a blessing. This guy is truly a blessing. He preached his first sermon at the age of 5. God has anointed him from the crown of his head to the soles of his feet. And all I can do is just give God praise. And a lot of people say, you can't do it, There's a song say, I never would have made it. And I give God all the praise because I had faith in him always. And I walk in faith. A lot of us, we preach about it, we talk about it, but do we actually live it and walk in it? And I can say, by the way I was raised, and when I look back, I am a faith walker, a faith believer, because a lot of people said, you wouldn't be on Broadway. When I was a young person, I aspired to be on Broadway. I said, I'm going to be on Broadway one day. And the Lord really blessed me to make that happen. The year that it happened, I talked about being in a musical, and we were saying what movies would make a great musical. Another cast member of mine, when I did Disney overseas, and I said, well, The Color Purple would be a great musical, and I will have to be a part of it. 2 months later, she came to me and said, you're going to be upset. She said, because they're already on Broadway. The cast is already on Broadway. And I, by me being overseas, I knew nothing of what was going on. And this was in 2005. So I'm like, and I got 4 more months to go in my contract, so I couldn't sleep. And I found out who was doing the casting, and I would email the director and everything. And finally, I got my audition. I did 3 different auditions, and the Lord blessed me to be a part of The Color Purple, because it was destined for me to be a part of that ministry. And my great-grandmother instilled so much in me, and how to keep the faith and how to walk in faith. And whatever your heart desire, you shall have it. And whenever you speak, you shall have it, because life and death is in the power of the tongue. And not only that, I also spoke many years ago that I wanted to sing at the White House during Christmas. It wasn't a matter of what president was in office at that time. And I kept believing that. And then the 2011 year, I kept speaking that. And then I started sharing that with other people. And I said, I'm going to sing in the White House. I don't know how, but I'm going to sing in the White House. And yeah, right, Verlinda, but later on, 2011, October the 17th, I shared with a pastor friend of mine. I said, you know what, it's October and the White House hadn't called me. She started laughing. And I'm like, no, I'm serious. I'm going to sing in the White House this year, and they haven't called me. October the 19th, 2 days later, 4:30 in the afternoon, I get an email alert, and I look down at it, and it's from the White House. And it started off with, Dear Verlinda Stanton, we are inquiring your availability to sing at the White House this Christmas. Do you know my leg on the accelerators just started? And tears was just rolling, and I had to pull over because I was driving. And all I could do, I just saw this blur and this light, and my heart was just fluttering, and tears was just rolling. And it was like, I know, that is faith. You understand? That is faith. And a lot of people judge us, prejudge us by whatever they want to. But I am just as real as you're going to ever get. I don't care what it may look like or what you may, I'm just as real as you're going to ever get. And I'm just confident in what I do with what the Lord has blessed me with. And when I desire something, I know how to go for it. Regardless of what you may say. You may say, no, Verlinda, that's not for you. And I hate it when you go to auditions and they'll say, well, you're not right for this part. How do you know? They told Whoopi Goldberg she wasn't right for the part in Sister Act because that was meant for Bette Midler. But she went on anyway because her character style wasn't the type they were looking for. But God gave her a gift. And when she went in there and showed that gift, you understand what I'm saying? So I can go on, but I don't want to. I'm sorry.